For all things gridiron and hardtop, it's Kev Lewis Decent to Sandbox.
It's the Sandbox YouTube fans. What's going on? We appreciate you guys for all the love. Before we start this episode, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, put on that notification bell, and go and check out our podcast, guys, Since the Sandbox podcast on your favorite platform. Today, we're going to talk to you guys about the best free agent signings of 2021. So, guys, just the recent additions going on in NFL free agency, which moves are really going to benefit that team the most. Before we get talking in and all that, just want to congratulate us. 15,000 downloads for our podcast, so you guys definitely go and check that out if you haven't already, and leave us that 5-star review, because if you know us, if it ain't 5 stars, guys, we don't want it. But guys, I'll start with my best free agent signing, and I'm going to be a little biased here, and I hope you guys think that it's a good signing too, because I think it really was one of the bigger deals of free agency, and that's Kenny Golladay to the Giants.
Yep.
I mean, talk about an impact move for a young quarterback who is really trying to take the next step, take the next leap, and all the off-the-field stuff that is usually the problem for these top-town quarterbacks isn't the problem for this guy. It's been injuries, it's been turnovers, and it's been playing for a horrible franchise the past couple of years. It really has. But Kenny Golladay really makes a commitment to Danny Dimes and to the Giants' offense, and I think that this could really be one of the most impactful additions in this whole offseason.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a good move. I didn't have it on the list. I kind of went biased.
It's all good.
A little on the list. But the first one I have is Corey Linsley to the Chargers. I just think that when you have a young, talented QB that you know is a franchise guy, no move to keep him healthy and to keep him upright is just, it's never a bad thing. Like, even if you do, say Linsley doesn't play as well as he did for Green Bay, you still tried to get him the right pieces.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all you have to do is try. I think it'll work out. We predicted that they'll probably go O-line in the draft, so protect the quarterback. I think that was a great signing. I really don't see much more they could have done.
No, for sure.
Yeah, so one of my signings, actually a defensive player.
Wow.
Surprising for Kev. I do have 2 offensive players after this, though.
Thanks.
But no, my first one is Patrick Peterson to the Vikings.
Oh!
No, and here's why I like it. Because, obviously, we don't know what the Bears are going to be with Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? They could be good, they could be bad, they could be in the middle. We don't know what the Lions are going to be like. The Lions are the Lions. Always good, but known for losing. So I really do think, obviously Patrick Peterson's best football is behind him, but I think that'll help the Vikings on the defensive end of the ball. They already have a good offense. They got Dalvin, they got Thielen, they got Jefferson. They have the offense. They just need a couple more pieces here and there, and I think Patrick Peterson can be a piece that, like I said, yeah, he's not the Patrick Peterson of old that we're used to, but he's still a factor, and he's still a solid, defensive back. So I just think that'll help the defense, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings were to finish second in that division and maybe sneak into a wild card spot this year.
We'll see.
Honestly,
about that.
that is just so...
Well, I'm going to steal this for a sec.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope you could zoom in on this. It says Kev sucks eggs.
Yep.
That take sucked
I
eggs.
do eat eggs. I eat hard-boiled eggs. Good for
I'm actually going to give you guys a little spoiler alert for our next episode. Our next episode is going to be our worst contracts from the 21 NFL free agency, and Patrick Peterson is actually one of my top 3.
Same.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. I see how it is.
Minnesota, where corners go to die.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, Kev. Nothing personal, but it's personal.
Another person that is $8 million for a dude who could use a cane.
But I'm actually going to come in with 2 for the Patriots, so this is a little bit more in your direction. And I think these 2 signings are absolutely incredible, impactful, one for each side of the ball. Matthew Judon getting paid $8 million guaranteed a year. I think that's an absolute steal on the defensive side of the ball from a pass rusher perspective. And offensively securing Hunter Henry for the next 4 years with whoever's going to be your quarterback. On top, I don't want to say Jonnu Smith because that's not one of my impressive moves. But Hunter Henry with Jonnu Smith, I think that's pretty damn all right. I do think that the quarterback position still has a lot of questions. But they get that offensive line, that running back room right, that wide receiver room right. The Pats really aren't far away from dethroning the Bills from their first AFC East title in, 30 years.
Something close.
Yeah.
I love the Judon move. That's my second one, actually. So I'll let Kev continue because I think that's just a great move.
Oh, you're passing to me?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. No, so my second one, and this wasn't a huge move, but I think for this team, it's something that could be, helpful for them. And John Brown to Las Vegas.
Kev, I don't mind that one.
I like it just because, obviously, yes, the Raiders still need help on the defensive end, but, that's just, a guy that you can pay whatever, cheap, cheapish. And he's good, Like, before Stephon Diggs, he really was the number one in Buffalo for those couple of years, Not that they
weren't anything crazy.
Yeah, they weren't anything crazy, but that he can take those reps and he's going to be solid. And my next signing is also someone who went to the Raiders, but we'll talk about that when the third round comes back.
Okay, the third round. Oh, man.
Awful.
But guys, I'll come in with my next one, and this one's not going to be as fancy as my other ones were. This is a little more meaty. But I'm going to go offensive line here, and I'm going to take a former Giant to the Ravens. I think is going to be an impactful move, replacing Marshall Yonda. And we know that Orlando Brown has expressed a lot of interest in leaving the right side of that Ravens line. Kevin Zeitler, so, this is a top 5 guard in the league. He hasn't missed a snap in 14 seasons, so that's definitely something you want to look for on the offensive line. And this is someone that can play that right guard or right tackle position and lock it down, absolutely lock it down with experience. So with the Ravens running the ball and trying to protect their franchise quarterback as much as they do, I definitely think that Zeitler was a great addition and kind of a sneaky move for a team like this.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. And protecting the quarterback, you can never go wrong.
Yeah.
But for my last one, I have Bud Dupree.
Okay.
I just think that's a great pickup for Tennessee. Premier defensive players. They need defense. The only way they can win is having the best defense in the division and the best running game. That's how they did it a couple seasons ago when they went on their run. They have to continue to do it, and they took him away from a premier team in the AFC. So I think that in itself is a plus.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, so my third one, so I'll give you the spoiler alert, another guy who signed with the Raiders, running back Kenyon Drake. And I love it because Josh Jacobs, I feel like, we talk about him year in and year out, consistent top 10 running back, has the potential to really be one of those top 7, 8 running backs, but I feel like he's always missing a game here and there for being banged up, and I think, who's his backup, Booker?
It was.
Yeah,
was on the Giants.
Exactly. And he was, a pretty good backup. But I think bringing in a guy like Kenyon Drake, who has been, a running back one pretty much his whole career, and I know he's a little bit on the older side now, but bringing a guy like that to come in and back up Josh Jacobs and take some of the reps off so that he can stay healthy for the entire season going in, if they do, work to make a playoff spot, going into the playoffs, or just that second half of the season, I think would be huge for them. And it's clear that they're expanding their offense, and I think that was just a great signing for them.
Here's my whole thing with it, and I'm not saying that signing was too crazy, in another direction.
Wasn't crazy,
but I think it could definitely bring value. But here's my whole thing. John Brown is a great addition. I'm not hating on John Brown at all. But I think it would have been more essential to bring in or invest in a wide receiver instead of giving that money to Kenyon Drake. Because I think
it's a better wide receiver.
Yeah, Devontae Booker was on a rookie contract. You could take somebody in the 6th round that can replace Devontae Booker's production. And Josh Jacobs, if he misses a game or two, that's okay. But realistically, Melvin Gordon was considered an elite running back playing 7 games a season. So there's no reason why Josh Jacobs playing 12 to 15 games should be a problem. And here's my thing too with the way the NFL is changing things and going into an extended season. I think in the NFL it's going to be considered more of a norm to see players rest like we do see in the NBA. They're playing almost 20 weeks of the regular season if you want to include the preseason.
Football's the only sport that it's rightfully so. You know what I mean?
No,
guys are probably banged up week in and week out.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. So if you gave Josh Jacobs rest days instead of forcing him and then him missing that time, I don't think that the Kenyon Drake signing is horrible, but my whole thing is it's a very costly signing.
Yeah.
Now, what if, I'm just spitballing here, because now that you talk about load management, I'm even thinking, even if there's a game Josh Jacobs, he's still active, but you just pretty much defer to whoever the backup is at the time. You know what I mean? So it's technically not they're not off. That
can also be schemed too,
exactly,
depending on the matchup.
Exactly.
So very
That'd
tough.
be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go into one of those episodes another time, but definitely not today. Guys, these were our best free agent signings of 2021. Make sure to go and check out our podcast. Leave us that 5-star review because, like we say, if it ain't 5 stars, we don't want it. We get all the draft coverage coming to you guys, a bunch of ball talk going on. So make sure you guys get caught up with all that. Like, subscribe, put on that notification bell below. And, guys, hit sandbox.net to get your favorite merch. Peace.
For all things great iron and hard top, it's Kevlu and